Hi everyone, I'm back and this is day 7 of my juicing journey. So today, as you can see, I got a nice cornucopia of veggies that we're going to juice. I've already did my celery for the day with parsley. Kind of liking that celery parsley. You don't really taste the parsley, but you know it's there. And then I have my wheatgrass of the day. So if you follow me on TikTok, I'll be posting a couple of pictures about that and see what fun pictures about doing all that kind of stuff. But I'm really loving this juicing journey. So far, what I have seen in this week, because we're now at a full week of juicing. If you hold on 1 second, I just want to make sure I am saying hello to those who join me, so I can see who joins. I've noticed that my eating habits have kind of changed a little bit. So definitely not eating as much. Well, I really wasn't eating that much anyway with gastric bypass. It's about so much I can eat, even though it was 10 years ago. My stomach did not get like huge and big again. It's pretty small. But I really eat even less. And I'm really going more toward that raw veggie plant-based kind of flavor. I do still do a little bit of meat, just a little. But I'm finding that I'm enjoying it less and less. Who knows? But that has been my experience so far as I'm juicing. So one of the things I'm going to talk about today is kale. Why am I talking about kale? Because kale is everywhere. They put kale in almost everything. If you go to a juice bar, you're getting kale. If you go to a restaurant, you're getting kale. If you see somebody's telling you about kale, well, what is so good about kale? I mean, it's curly. You got a whole wide range of kale, because if you go to the store, you find red kale, you find dino kale, you find curly kale, you find red curly kale. So you got all this kale. What is the hype? So I looked it up because that's what you should do. And one of the things about kale, it is high in beta carotene. Now, I didn't know that there's a difference between the vitamin A and beta carotene. Both we know are really good for your eyes. But beta carotene, it seems, is the raw version of vitamin A, which means beta carotene can turn into vitamin A. So when it processes your body. So don't quote me, go look it up, you'll see it. But it is high in that. So that's a good thing. Another thing is it is high in vitamin K. Another thing I didn't realize is that there's 2 vitamin K. There's vitamin K2 and vitamin K1. Having a little trouble on Facebook, so we may not have to post that. Okay. Vitamin K2 and vitamin K1. So both of them, vitamin K2 is more, and I'm reading notes, so just in case you see me going over there. Vitamin K2 is more for like fermented foods, and vitamin K1 is more for like raw foods, which kale has a lot of. It also, which helps also you lower cholesterol, and then it's a good source of vitamin C. Once again, people think vitamin C, what do they think? Oranges. But you can get vitamin C in your greens, which is also another thing that is good for you. So you can have it in your oranges, and usually your greens tend to have more than your oranges do, or your citrus fruits do. So even though that's what your go-to can be, we're learning that your greens has it too. It also is high in antioxidant. It has magnesium, calcium, potassium, all those minerals. We'll get to the minerals in a minute. But it's also high in high antioxidant. So one of the 2 antioxidants is really high in, and I'm going to try to pronounce this right. Okay. Quercetin, which is it's spelled with a Q, but it's quercetin. And quercetin and Kimferol. So those 2 it's very high in both those antioxidants, and they are good when helping you with a whole bunch of stuff. Your heart is heart healthy, blood pressure, It's anti-inflammatory, antioxidating, antiviral, helps with your, if you get depression, it has a factor of being antidepressant. It has a whole bunch of helps with your cancer, whole bunch of other things that it can help you do. Those two. I never heard of them before. You probably haven't either, but they're in there and they're in high amounts and they do a lot for our body. Another thing is that it's high in minerals. Remember when I said we was going to talk about minerals? Because most of the time, where do we get our minerals from? Do you know where you get your minerals from? I didn't. I mean, I knew, but I didn't completely know. So of course you look it up. And then it goes to say, okay, so we always talk about vitamins and minerals. And vitamins are the organic ones you get from your meat and plants and everything. But minerals you usually get from your soil and things like that. Plants that grow in the soil, the animals that eat the plants that grow in the soil. So, you have a lot of middleman in there. And kind of if you eat the plants, you kind of eliminate some of the middleman, because it's like soil, plant, But that's why I like plant-based. I'm not, I'm just saying. You want to, the more closer you are to it, the less. And I'm not saying you go out there and eat some soil and some dirt, because that's going to cut up the plant middleman. We know. We ain't going that far. But, maybe you not always have to have all the meat to get your minerals. So, it's high in minerals. And kale happens to be very high in minerals. So, sometimes we're not necessarily vitamin deficient because we eat a lot of plant, a lot of meat and everything. And a lot of that meat and stuff does definitely have vitamins in it. As well as plants. But we could be mineral deficient. So, and the best place to get minerals is actually it's not the only place to get it is your plants, of course not. They fortify cereals, fortify bread. You can get a supplement with vitamins and minerals, supposedly. So, there's ways to get it. But a really good way to get it is eating veggies or juicing veggies. And kale is very high in them. So, that's the hype about kale. One other good thing, which I also didn't know, but I found out, kale is low oxalate, which can prevent you from absorbing your minerals. So if you're eating foods that are high in that oxalate, even if it has minerals, you may not be absorbing it as well. So there's a balance. And kale kind of has that balance in that it's high in minerals, but low in oxalate, which stops you from absorbing those high minerals. So kale is an awesome, awesome food. And so that's why the only greens I have in here today is kale. Sometimes I mix it up. And the reason why I mix it up is because you don't want to have one thing all the time. If you keep eating the same greens, your body get used to it. So kale is good, but you also want to mix it up in your diet. You don't want to just kale it all out and say, well, shoot, I'm getting everything with my kale. I'm just going to be eating kale a day, moon, night, every day. No, because then you're not getting the full benefit. And variety, you need variety. So our variety for our juice today is kale, red beets, cucumber. I am going to try my hand and put a key lime in it. We're going to see what that comes out as. Apple, turmeric, and ginger. And that is our juice for today. Once again, I am using my 365 cold press Omega juicer. I love it. It's so pretty. Don't you think so? I think it's pretty. It's nice and quiet. You don't get quiet. I got that thing right there. Not quiet. This, quiet. So we're going to start with that. So, how are you getting this? Now, once again, this is a shameless plug, but this is a lot. But this is not. You see this? You're getting all of that in these. And all you got to take is 8 a day. Mommy brains. I'm like, what? What was that? Yes, 8 a day. All you got to do is take 8 a day. And getting your omegas. Okay? All plant-based. So if you don't want to go through all of this, and you're not really sure about how much kale you're going to really be eating, you can get that in this. And I want to say it has kale because it does. Right here. You see this? Right here? That's the kale. So you're getting your kale in it too. Wonderful. So maybe you don't want to go through all of this. Maybe you don't want to have to go through the store and try to figure it out all the time. Well, you can take this and get your daily kale, as well as your other vegetables that you need to have a heart healthy, well-balanced diet and get your veggies in as you can. So that's what we're starting with, and I am starting with my little cucumber because I love cucumbers. It has water. And I have some apple. I'm actually doing 2 apples today, but maybe I'll just do 1 because I do have beets too, and I don't want it to be too sweet. I am not doing sweet. So you heard me talk about having gastric bypass, and I've had it now. I got my gastric bypass in 2000, I want to say 7. But it's been at least 10 years, maybe even older, maybe longer. Okay? And that was the one thing I had to figure out. So if you ever wonder what got me on this journey, that did. Because I had to figure out how I was going to feed myself once I got this done. Because even though, you lose a lot of weight on that, gastric bypass surgery really is not necessarily about losing weight. I mean, it is losing weight quickly, yes. But it's also about you getting the gumption to change your lifestyle. Because gastric bypass is not a quick fix. So if you don't change your lifestyle, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get that weight right back. And we have seen many people, we have seen the stories of people like, yeah, I got it done, but I didn't change my diet. So, I gained more weight. Maybe you gained more weight, you gained weight back, all these things. So it's very important if you get these weight loss surgery. Now, gastric bypass is not a big thing, it's sleeve and all this other stuff. That you still look into changing your diet, because these are lifelong changes that you are doing to yourself, and you don't want to do that for nothing. You don't want to do all that to only end up back where you started and back in the same predicament that you were in before you started. So that's how I got into it, because I know I needed to change my lifestyle. I needed to eat better. I needed to find a way to eat better for myself. And some of it was because, heck, once you have gastric bypass surgery, there's just some things you can't do no more. And if you don't, like having vitamins, like I'm going to have to take some kind of supplement for the rest of my life. Problem with that is, most pills I cannot take because they don't absorb it. Because I don't have stuff to absorb it. So it's food. For me, food. Food is good. But when I can't get the food, having a pill every so often can help. This is a good pill because it's absorbable. Sometimes some pills are not. I can do other pills. I know they do nothing. Because I can still do it. This, I don't have that problem. It has a little gel kind of thing. I could do 1 or 2 ways. I could open it and put it in something, or I could just take it straight. And it's pretty absorbable for me. So, you take it what you need and you figure it out. And I figured it out, and that's why I figured it out for myself. So you have to figure stuff out for yourself. But if you need help, I'm here to help you. Because that's what I do. That's part of my business. To help you know that you don't have to do all this by yourself. Because when I did it, it was me. Me sitting at the computer, figuring it out. Me wondering why do I feel this way after having class? Why do I feel that way? Because they tell you something, they don't tell you everything. And sometimes people who've never done it really can't tell you everything. So there's things that always come up. There you go. Come on. Get you down. There are some things that do come up that if you haven't experienced it or don't know, you need help. And I'm here to help. So always follow me. You can follow me on YouTube. That's why I have my beacon going across. So all my links are pretty much in there. And you can follow me in there. I also do a room on Clubhouse where I talk about one thing we can do. It's not always just about our diet, because sometimes our diet is really a thing of other stuff going on with us. So we need to get that done first. What else is going on with us? That's making our diet a little bit off the wall or shaky. Some things we got to get that out, and then we can work on things that make us healthy. So that's what I do. That's one of the reasons why I do So this is the thing that we are going through. Oh, labor of love. This is a labor of love. It's intensive, but it's a labor of love. Because I really love doing this. It's very satisfying for me. Sometimes you need to do this one. Get some stress out. So, there you have it. Kale. So what other things that you can use kale? You know, there's always kale chips. One of the things I like to do with the pulp, and I will show you the pulp when I'm done. One of the things I like to do with the pulp is make, veggie burgers with it, or somebody else gave me an idea of doing crackers. So dehydrators here, do some crackers. Do some dehydrated crackers. You don't have to. You can also use your oven to do dehydrated crackers. You have to have it on a low and keep your door open, and that'll help. But if you're not doing that, I think I'm gonna put a half a lime in there. I can really smell that lime. But if you don't have a dehydrator, you can do it that way. You can do a whole bunch of things that you can do too. Ooh. Oh, what's this stand? There you go. There you go. All right. There's a bunch of things that you can do to do it, in your oven. If you don't have a dehydrator, just want to make sure it's low. If you're doing it raw, if you're not doing it raw, then you can just get a good cracker recipe, throw your veggies in there, mix it up, and there you go. That's what you can do. Some more beets. This is you would think, now, when I show you how much juice all this is doing, you're going to be like, that's it? I'll be like, that's it. That's it. So you can do a lot of juice, but that don't mean you're doing a lot of juice. If that makes sense. But almost done getting this out. Add that last thing of beet and apple. And then we will blend that on. Now, if you do the crackers with this, you can also, add some stuff. You definitely can add some herbs to it when you do your crackers. Add some garlic to it when you do your crackers. You can mince it and have some of that in there. Make a good recipe that you like. Like me, I don't like all that gook in my crackers, really. I'm more of a seed, salt, maybe a little pepper kind of guy. But every once in a while, I'll add some more to it and be like, oh, well, that's good. Hi, Paulette. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I think I'm going to add just one more. I just add the whole thing. It wasn't that good. If it don't come out right, you don't know. But I think that's perfect. So that was our juice for today. I hope you got a lot of good information about kale. We will soon talk about ginger and turmeric and all the other ingredients. I am making my juice for today. I call it my lunch juice because it's lunchtime. And it was red beets, apple, a whole key lime, cucumber, kale. We talked a lot about kale. So when you can see this on the replay. It's on all my social media at the time, even though it's live, and it will be on Instagram. It will also be on Fanbase. So if you haven't checked out Fanbase, maybe you should. And then you can follow me there. It's like, I like it. I think you will too. So check it out. It will be there also, and you can see. So it's just like I said, it is just my afternoon juice. And the piece was kale, apple, cucumber, turmeric, ginger, whole key lime, carrot, red carrot, orange carrot, purple carrot. And there you go. So that was the juice. See how quiet that was? Okay. So this is our juice. Now you saw that whole big bowl. Whole big bowl that was. This is how much juice I got out of that big bowl. Almost 12 ounces. Almost. But 12 ounces of healthy vitamin and mineral pack a punch. Okay? So that's what we had today. This is our fiber that we don't have. We are going to be doing videos with smoothies because smoothies keep the fiber, though juice does not. So you can always, like I said, you can compost this. I can make veggie burgers out of this, add a little bit more ingredients to it. I can also make crackers out of this, add a little bit more ingredients to it, so just some seasoning. And it could, you don't waste the fiber. You can always use it for something else. And that was our juice for today. So thank you for joining me. Please, if you like it, share it. If you think someone could benefit, please share it. You can subscribe to my channels and my Facebook. You can always find me on Clubhouse. It's the Just One Thing room. It's just one thing to reach you to your goal, be it health, be it whatever it is. We find it, we keep it from being overwhelming. We break it down to something small to move your needle to get your goal. So thank you again. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Eat. Okay. Oh yeah, still here.